Disaster has struck in the greenhouse. Every gardener's worst nightmare has happened to me. The heater went out in one of the coldest weeks we had all winter long. So let's look at the aftermath. The first plant that I'm super happy survived, because I've been working on it for 10 years, is my seed-grown lemon tree. And this speaks to the hardiness of seedling trees as compared to grafted trees, because right here, I have what used to be a variegated Eureka lemon. It was a beautiful tree, very large, equal in size at least to this tree. And this one is dead, except for the flying dragon rootstock, which isn't surprising because that's a cold hardy rootstock. But this tree is on its own roots as a seedling, and it survived. Now, some of this younger top growth died, but from these thicker, the thicker base of the tree, we have tons of buds that came back. I'm gonna cut this back, let it do its thing, but thankfully it survived. And like I said, speaks to the hardiness of seedlings. For all the people out there that are constantly bashing seedling trees, they are hardier than your grafted trees. They're gonna live longer. And yeah, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get some fruit off of them. Like this one hasn't fruited in 10 years, okay? Which isn't looking good for me, but it will. But other things like peaches will fruit and flower in 3 years. And I still get people saying, well, that's way too long. Well, you're not a patient gardener, and grafted trees is definitely what you should stick with, but they are not as hardy. They're not gonna be able to take as much of a beating as these seedling trees. So the seed-grown lemon tree wins. Now I want to show you guys what a loser looks like. This is an apple guava that I've been growing for 3 years now. And look at this thing. This thing is dead as a doornail. There's no hope in it coming back. I was hoping it would, somehow sprout back from the roots, but weeks have gone by. I'm seeing no signs of life. I'm still going to leave it in there for a glimmer of hope. Maybe there's one bud that's just going to be like, and then just emerge from the soil, but I highly doubt it. This is one that I'm going to be crying over for some time. Another winner with flying colors is the seedling loquat that I've been growing for about 3 years now. The leaves on this didn't even get burned, so while other things are dying, this is loving it. It was just like, ooh, it's cold, but I love it. So seedling loquat, another winner. Now right here, we have a very pleasant surprise because I thought they were all goners, but they came back from the root systems. It's bananas. We've got ice cream bananas. We got super dwarf Cavendish. We have truly tiny. We have double Mahoy, we have dwarf ladyfinger, dwarf Orinoco, we've got it all, and it's all coming back. Thankfully, I thought we lost them all. So bananas, pretty crazy that they were cold hardy enough to at least survive in the root system while all these other things were dying. I thought these were gonna be goners for sure, but thankfully they came back, the collection's still alive. And this is just a couple of weeks of growth. This is an ice cream banana growing so fast. This is why I love bananas. I mean, they just grow so fast. They have that tropical vibe and they give you really tasty fruit. So glad that these survived. Of course, everything we sell on the AmericanFigCompany.com was not surprisingly alive. Here we have our honeyberries, which we sell on the website. Unless Antarctica makes its way up here, nothing's gonna happen. They look beautiful. They're doing great. Everything up here from autumn olives to elderberries to cherry trees, everything. We got it over here and it all survived wonderfully. And then of course, all the figs that we're adding, new varieties this year, survived wonderfully, except for one real shocker, guys. We have this seedling fig from California. I can't remember who I got this from. It's called Sunrise. I have 2 of these trees in here, and this is the only one out of all the figs that died. So not a cold hardy winter. We didn't even have to put it in the ground outside to figure it out. It died in the greenhouse when it got cold. I mean, look at this. It's dead. A couple of the citrus survivors that survived very easily was a blood orange that we have right here. No problem. It's a young tree and still survived. I don't even think any of the buds died on this thing. There might have been a few leaves that were a little burned, but they've fallen off now. This is a Maywa kumquat. Not a surprise that this thing did well. It's one of the most cold hardy citrus trees you can get your hands on. Kumquats are great. You eat the peel and the inner flesh, so it's just a unique citrus tree, and it's a very cold hardy one. So it's a great one to add to the collection. Back here we have a Dancy tangerine that was much bigger and much more beautiful. It had some dieback, but it survived, no problem. The pomegranates made it. Any pomegranates I had in a pot, including this little one right here, which is a golden pomegranate, which we sell on the website as well. It survived easily in the cold. Things like this Tehama mulberry survived. It's even got little fruit, doing really well. But unfortunately, the Persian lime, the different varieties of lemons didn't make the cut. Now, I do have something very interesting. While all the other guavas that I had, the Egyptian guava, a lot of the seedling guavas that I had died, I do have one variety of guava that I grew from seed, which took the cold very well, which is actually, it's not as surprising. I shouldn't be surprised by it, because even as seedlings, I left these guavas out last year and it got down to 19 degrees. I thought for sure they'd be dead. I just got lazy. I was like, I'm gonna leave them out there. And the seedlings survived. So I was like, all right, these are very cold hardy. So let me go ahead and show you what those look like. Here they are. And no, we're not advertising that. But this is what it looks like. Growing back wonderfully, super cold hardy, not really sure even what it is. I have it written down as a red guava seedling, but that almost means nothing because they don't come true to seed. So we'll see what this turns out to be. And then eventually I'll probably propagate it and start selling it to other people. But I can say for sure this thing is cold hardy. And I'm excited to see where this one goes. So, moral of the story is, don't put a heater into a new greenhouse. Put all of your precious baby plants into that greenhouse, and then also have a newborn baby at the same time so you can't keep up with everything, because it is a recipe for disaster. However, we have learned a lot of things. We've learned what can take the cold and what can't. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out theamericanfigcompany.com. Tons of cool fruit trees on there. Buy everything that we have, guys. Buy it all. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Buy it.